The opinions and views expressed in the following program are those of the speakers and the host, and do not necessarily reflect those of Yoakley Scott Corporation and your sports network.
Yeah, I've been closer to Jesus before, so can you help me out? Oh, can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? But can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Can you help me out? I've been scared to look in my soul. I've been afraid I would follow the road. Yeah, afraid of the things I've been told.
And hello, everybody, and welcome inside a Friday episode of Running Point on ysnlive.com, brought to you as always by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. They go the extra mile for you. We try to do the same here on this show every single day. We continue to do that. And as always, I want to take the time to thank Greenwood Chevrolet for their constant support of not just this show, but everything that we're able to do on YSN. Could not do it without the wonderful folks at Greenwood Chevrolet and all the other wonderful sponsors that we have. And by the way, we always bring this up, but it is a perfect time to start a sponsorship with YSN. Fall sports are right around the corner. We still have a good chunk of summer sports coverage. Class B baseball playoffs are kicking off. We have the Little League baseball that's just started up down at the Field of Dreams. So we have plenty of summer sports still to cover, and fall sports for high school is just around the corner. No better time to become a partner and a sponsor for YSN. Head over to ysnlive.com/advertise. You can find all the packages that we offer there, and you can fill out a form and we can get the ball rolling to get started with you. You'll get no better value to get your company or organization out there than YSN. We're covering over 60 schools, over 60 communities, a bunch of counties, all the way up from Mahoning, Trumbull, Columbiana, but then we have Stark and Portage as well, up there in Ashtabula, of course, with the 440 teams coming on board as well. So you really get a lot of reach. There's no better place to advertise than YSN. So make sure you do that if you're interested. If you're listening out there in the cosmos and you want to promote your business, no better place to do it than YSN. Today we have a show for you that is going to be a little bit different than obviously planned, because we're going to talk about a lot of really important games that were supposed to happen last night, but Mother Nature had other plans. We got rained on at the Field of Dreams. They got rained on at Bobstein Park. Everything was pretty much canceled before it started. You'll look at what the Field of Dreams had to kind of go through in the last week of the softball tournament. The rain has been a monster to deal with, and it has really pushed everything back. And they're at the wall. 12U State starts tomorrow. Luckily for the district that this year they're sending two teams to state anyway. That was already going to happen before all the rain. So there's not like a decision to be made of who's going to state, which would make this a lot harder. Like if this happened last year in a situation like this with the backs against the wall to weather, and you had to pick one team to go to state and there's still not a championship decided and both teams had beaten each other and it was a winner-take-all championship, you would probably have to just bite the bullet and get that in tonight. But because they're sending two teams, I think the only thing to decide for the winner of the district is, one, who do we say is district champions, and then two, the seeding for the state tournament on Saturday in Ironton. And that is all going to be figured out by Williamsport. We were told that last night. I still haven't gotten word on what the official ruling from Williamsport was or is, but we were told last night after they convened in their executive building at the Field of Dreams that they were going to send it up the flagpole to Williamsport and let Little League kind of decide what the protocol was going to be. But either way, Austintown and Boardman are both going to go to state. And like I said, that was predetermined already. District 2 was already going to send 2 teams to state this year. So Austintown and Boardman are both going to Ironton tomorrow to start the state tournament. Now you look at 10U softball, they couldn't play last night either, and they still have a handful of games to decide. They still have the losers bracket final to get into the championship, and then of course game 1 of the championship still has to be played. That has been pushed to Wednesday the 12th. So next Wednesday, 6 and 8 o'clock, both on S2. That's what the website on the Little League website says now. So Wednesday the 12th, the losers bracket final between Austintown and Boardman and 10U will happen on S2 at 6 o'clock. And then on S2 at 8 o'clock, it'll be the winner of that Boardman-Austintown game versus Canfield in the game 1 of the championship. If Canfield wins, they'd go straight to state and be the district champions. If the winner of Boardman-Austintown beats Canfield, they'll come back the next night and they'll play the if necessary game on Thursday. So that's how it's going to shake down for 10U softball, 12U softball. As far as I know, I think they're done playing in the district. I don't think it's possible to make up that game tonight. I think all the teams kind of agreed that this Friday, today was off limits because of the travel stuff, and no one would really have a full roster. So I'm pretty sure that this is not official because we haven't had the official word, or at least I haven't personally. But I'm pretty sure that the 12Us are going to be done playing at the Field of Dreams. They're just going to go to state tomorrow. And as far as who seeded what, that'll be up to the Little League in Williamsport to decide. But there's also Little League baseball to be decided last night. And of course, that could not go on last night. So the schedule for Little League baseball has also been adjusted. And we're going to go update you on that. So last night, 12U and 10U were supposed to be in action. And obviously that got canceled. So tonight is just going to be pushing everything back one day. So, of course, we have 12U. We'll start with that. South Range versus Canfield. 12U baseball will be at 6 o'clock on L1. And then at 8 o'clock on L1, it will be Austintown 12U versus Poland 12U. So that's what will be on tap tonight for baseball in the Field of Dreams. We'll also have tonight 10U baseball, Austintown versus Poland on L2 at 6, and Boardman versus Canfield 10U on L2 at 8. So those two are going to be going on tonight. And let's see, is there 11U tonight? No, 11U will be tomorrow. Canfield 11U versus Boardman 11U at 12 on L3. So 11U is good for tomorrow, and then let's see, 9U will be in action tonight on L3 at 6 o'clock. Boardman 9U versus Canfield 9U. So 2 12U games, 2 10U games, and 1 9U game tonight at the Field of Dreams. 12U will be on L1. I'm so used to saying S for softball. 12U will be on L1. 10U will be on L2. And then the 1 9U game will be on L3. So that's a total of 5 baseball games at the Field of Dreams tonight for Little League Baseball. And we will also have Bobsey Park has adjusted their schedule. So tonight we'll have 18U action, Nightline versus Prospects, Whiting versus Creekside. We'll also have Astros versus Avalanche tonight in 18U. And then, of course, the start of the 16U playoffs are tonight as well. Creekside versus Whiting, game 1. And then Avalanche versus Astro Falcons, game 1, both tonight. So 5 Class B baseball games tonight. 5 Little League baseball games tonight. It's going to be a full slate. Before we get going with the rest of the show, I'm just going to go through who's going to be announcing tonight as well. Noah Doty's going to be at the Field of Dreams on L1 for the 12U. And then we will have Bob Zanny and Eric Hughes both on the calls for Scene Park. Scene 3 will be video only. So game one of, let's see, I think scene three has game one of Creekside versus Whiting. That will be video only. Astros and Avalanche will be covered. Eric Hughes and Bob Zaney both down there at Bob Scene Park. So that'll be fine. That'll be good to go. And then, as I said, Noah Doty's going to be down at the Field of Dreams for the 12U games for our coverage. So that's going to be kind of our very short recap of a very rainy Thursday night. Obviously, everyone was disappointed. They wanted to play. I think especially the softball teams, they've been kind of hit pretty hard by the weather, and tensions have been rising because they've been, put their backs against the wall against the district teams and their travel teams, and they've been having to make tough decisions through last weekend. So there was definitely tension last night, and I'll leave that where it's at. But there was definitely tension last night when the rain came and they realized that they probably weren't going to be able to decide a winner between Austintown and Boardman, and it sucks. But the good news is both teams are going to state. No one is going to be robbed a trip to state because of weather, which is always the best thing in the world. So two teams are going to state, and we wish them the best of luck in Ironton this weekend, and hopefully they can bring home a state championship and then go into regionals like we sent the team there last year, with Boardman going last year into the regionals after winning state. All right, so today we're going to go back into the vault on Running Point. We have two great fall sports interviews that we were able to conduct last fall. You're going to hear Ty Bartell back on the show. We love it when we can highlight his voice. And he and myself had an interview with Cam Smith from Austintown football this year, a great interview with one of the area's best football talents from the Falcons. We're going to play his interview now, go dive into the vault of Running Point, and hear from Cam Smith from Austintown football. Here you go.
You feel it, and he could definitely pick it off from the air too. Got a chance to talk with him last night. I know he was there too, supporting the volleyball team. How we doing, Cam?
I'm good. What's going on with you guys?
Not doing bad, man. Just talking a little bit of football, talking some matchups tonight. You got a big one that you're going to be involved in tonight. I guess before we get into the player profile portion, let's just start there. I know everyone's excited about this game. Talk about your excitement going into playing Ursuline, and talk about the game last year and how you're using that to motivate and fuel you going into this one.
Yes, sir. Like, we're really excited for this game. It's definitely been marked on our calendar since last year. Right after that game, we still feel that pain from the hurt, like especially by losing by 1 point. It was a shootout, and this year we definitely are coming prepared, and I know they're coming prepared, and it's going to be a great game. I'm just happy that it's game of the week, and we get to put our talents on TV this year.
First 3 games of the season, you guys have looked so impressive. What's been kind of the theme in the locker room, and what do you think has been one of the main keys for this team to look as good as they have in the first 3 weeks against 3 really quality opponents?
Yeah, I think this year the difference is we're playing for each other. Like, instead of every individual playing for themselves, we all bond as a team, and we're playing cohesively. And especially on our defensive side, I feel like we picked it up from last year, and everybody's making the plays that they need to make. And if they don't, the next guy's right there to make it for us. And that's what's making us great this year.
We've had B-Rob on before, and he's mentioned about Coach Parker's influence with this team and how you can almost hear a pin drop by his presence just walking into a room. Yeah. Talk about your personal relationship with Coach Parker and how he is as a motivator as well as a coach for you.
Yes, sir. Coach Parker, to me, I respect him so much, and he's done so much for me, not only me, but our whole team. Like you said, when he walks into a locker room, we're all locked in on him, listening to what he has to say, because as a coach and him being him, he knows what he's talking about, and we just try and gain that knowledge from him.
He brings so much energy to the team too. He's always promoting you guys. He does a great job with just bringing energy to the program. What have you felt energy from him, and how much on game day do you kind of feel and feed into his energy?
Yeah, he's honestly just excited as the next guy that's standing right next to me. He's the one that's coming in the locker room fired up, ready to go, and that just gets us going even more. He wants to win just as bad as we do, and that's what makes us as good as we are. Is we got each other, but then Coach Parker is right behind us.
Anthony mentioned too before you came on, choosing Iowa State as your destination. I know we're talking about high school, we're in the high school realm, but I gotta figure it was a stress relief getting that kind of decision out of the way before the season.
Yes, sir.
But you were a hot commodity, man. A lot of colleges
Yeah.
were offering you spots. What was it like going through that process too? And why Iowa State? What made you choose them?
Yeah, the whole recruiting process, it's a wild process, and anybody that goes through it, they understand it. You go through all these days where you're wondering if a coach is gonna text you, or you got to text this coach, and at the end of the day, for me, Iowa State was his best spot because when I went up there, I just felt the love and everything that they had to give me. The coaches text me every day, if not every day, every other day. They make sure I'm good, and they're making sure they know what's going on with my life, and not only me, my family's life. So my parents they believe I'm in good hands when I go up there.
Iowa State obviously has a little bit of a Youngstown connection in Coach Haycock, who's the defensive coordinator. Did that
Yeah.
have any kind of step into picking Iowa State? Was there any added bonus to having a coach with a Youngstown connection a little bit?
Yeah, honestly, Coach Haycock was my dad's defensive back coach when he played at YSU. So just having that connection as well, like it definitely boosted my decision a little bit. But it's just great because just to see like the generations that he's coaching, how my dad understands how he coaches and how he's going to coach me hard when I get up there, and I'm excited.
Obviously, you're looking for a good coach when you're going into colleges, but what are the qualities you look for in a coach? And what are some other qualities in a college that you're looking for or that you were looking for that made you land on Iowa State?
Yeah, Iowa State for me, it's just the coaches care more about me as a person than just a player. Like they want to make sure when I come up there, obviously I'm gonna do what I have to do on the field and do everything, and they're gonna get me prepared for that. But they're also gonna get me prepared to go into life as a man and not just going out into the world not knowing what I'm gonna do. And also the academic part of it. Iowa State's a great academic school, and so I'm gonna get the whole full circle when I go up there, not just athletics.
And we know Iowa State has a big game tomorrow against Iowa. It's a big rivalry. Are you
Yeah.
excited to watch that one and try to
Oh
support your
yeah.
future team?
Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm gonna be glued to the TV while that's on. So
Have you been down there for a game yet?
no, this year I'm going down to Oklahoma. When they play
Oh,
Oklahoma. Yep. So it was either that one or Baylor, but I'm going with Oklahoma.
all right. That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Now, you've been in a lot of big games in your career with high school too, and in your career overall. Out of the games that you've played in so far, what is one of your favorite games, or one that comes to memory when you first think about some of your favorite games?
The first one that comes to the top of the mind is my sophomore year when we went up to Cleveland, played Benedictine. I feel like everybody they looked at us like they didn't understand why we were playing that team. They thought that it was just a waste game for us. Like, and Benedictine was going to come in there and roll them. And the fact, just the way we started, we hopped on them quick, and then we got an onside kick, scored again, and it was just a very fun game. And I think about that game often.
All right, we all expect this to be a close game tonight, and you guys have been, kind of dominating the first 3 weeks. So if this game gets close, and what is going to be some of the advice that you have to the new players on the varsity level to handle those close game situations and be ready to make those game-winning type plays, maybe in the fourth quarter if you guys have to?
Yeah, honestly, like up to this point, we haven't. I'm not gonna say we haven't been tested, but like obviously our games have been they've been pretty spread out, so we haven't really had to have that worry. But my advice to any kid would be just like Ursuline, they're very talented offense. We know that our defense is good, but their offense is just as good. So we just got to know they're gonna score points, but our offense is gonna score points too. We just got to keep our heads on our shoulders. We can't lose focus of our goal, and if we do that, we're going to be successful tonight.
Now, also in your sophomore season, you guys got to go to Stambaugh Stadium. You got to play in the Ice
Yeah.
Castle. What's the advice for those younger players that are getting their first chance varsity-wise to step into Stambaugh Stadium and kind of
Yeah.
experience the Ice Castle?
Yeah, I feel like at the end of the day, a football field is a football field. It's 100 yards. You know what I mean? So no matter what venue you're playing at, we know tonight it's going to get loud. A lot of people are going to be there, and obviously game of the week. But if you just remember that everybody plays on a football field, that's 100 yards. Will be good.
When you look at your preparation throughout the week, what's your favorite part of a game week? Is it the film? Is it practice? Is it walkthroughs? What's kind of your favorite part of the process of preparation?
My favorite part is honestly like watching a film, seeing what teams do, breaking it down, and then after watching that film, fully understanding it, going onto the field and seeing it in live action. Especially like for us, our scouts are very important to us. Like even the kids that might not get in on Fridays, they mean just as much as the kids that do play because they give us that great look on Monday through Thursdays and help us see what we're going to see on Fridays.
Playing in a COVID season and being an impact starter varsity wise too in your sophomore season, drawing back to that is a unique experience. Do you feel like that unique experience that season gives you any sort of advantage or maybe kind of any sort of, I guess, like I said, advantage going into games or going into a season?
Yeah, I feel like playing in that COVID year, it was everything that year was just crazy. Like obviously with the mask mandates and all that stuff, but then so that obviously gave us a challenge of what we can and cannot do. But then also the whole season as a whole, like me playing as how young I was as a sophomore, still raw to the varsity experience. I get to learn from the seniors and the juniors that were there, and they helped me tremendously. And I feel like that's what made me the player I am today.
We've talked about the football decisions that made you pick Iowa State, but what about the education? What do you want to go down there and study? And what kind of career path do you want to see yourself in after you do have to hang up the cleats for football?
Yeah, I'm going down there. I believe I'm going to study business, finance, and marketing. And the great thing about Iowa State is they're going to help me get whatever major I want, whatever I want to study, and then they're going to help me make sure I succeed in that. So I know I want to go down in the business road, but I don't know exactly what yet. So
Shout out some of those teachers at Fitch though that have had a huge impact on you and that you couldn't thank enough.
no, I can't thank the Fitch teachers enough. Like they do so much for us. They teach us every day. They make sure we're straight, and then at the same time, they support us on Fridays. So I
Who
can't, like you said, I can't thank them enough.
who's some of the biggest impact teachers in your life down there at Fitch?
Honestly, Mrs. Carroll is she's a big one because Mrs. Carroll, like every single day I see her, she'll ask me about what's going on with the football team. Are we ready for this game? Are we ready? Are you guys ready for the night? Like today, I saw her before I left school, and she was like, "Are you guys ready for the night?" I'm like, "Of course, Mrs. Carroll." Like, so she always brings that energy too.
Ty said he saw you at last night's volleyball game. Obviously, you guys get great student sections for your games. What's it like to be a part of one in the other sporting events?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like for us, it's very important for us to like go to other teams' events, like because we know at Fitch football, it's a pretty big venue. Like we get all those kids that come watch our games, so we feel like as football players, we should go and support them whenever we can make it. Like we're busy with football, but at the same time, if we got a little extra time, we're gonna go check them out, make sure they see us, and make sure we're heard.
All right, follow-up question to that. Any athlete that fits that's not on the football team, you go fall sports, winter sports, spring sports, that you need a poster of, like a signed poster of. What athlete are you trying to get?
I gotta go with Jocelyn Jordan.
All
Jocelyn
right.
Jordan. Yeah, she's gonna be a dog when she leaves here. So, like, if I wouldn't be surprised if I see her doing big things in that volleyball, and I'm gonna have to get one signed before she leaves.
For sure, for sure. She's doing big things. I want to go on the
Yeah,
football realm too, because we know football is a game of inches, and we know that it takes 11 guys on offense, defense, special teams. It takes every working part to get those wins. Who's the most underrated football player that you've either played with or against in your career that you think needs some love and shout out, that did all the right things on the field but maybe never got the spotlight?
most underrated player. That's a tough question on the spot like that. Um, honestly, I don't know. I might have to think about that, and we might have to come back to that like later in the because I really don't have an answer for you off the
All
off
right.
the spot
Got
right
him stumped too. I
You
now.
got
You
him.
got me stuck. You got
All
me
right.
stuck.
What about this one? What about this one? Who is the toughest athlete that you've had to go up against so far in your career?
Honestly, the one guy I'll give huge props to is Cam Thompson from Boardman. Whenever we played them, like he's a solid, very solid athlete. He's fast, he's strong, and he has great hands. So whenever we played him, it was always a tough competition whenever I went against him.
I know your mentality of a football field's a football field too, but there are still beautiful stadiums outside of Greenwood, Chevy, and Falcon Stadium. What's your favorite away stadium that you've gotten a chance to play in?
My favorite stadium for sure had to be Paul Brown Stadium up in Massillon. It's beautiful up there. It's a hostile environment, but like that just feeds me more whenever we play there, and so I'm excited to get down there this year too.
All right. So last thing before we let you go, if you had to kind of look at your teammates, which one do you think you would trust the most to kind of be a getaway driver if you guys had to get away in a hurry somewhere?
A getaway driver.
Yeah.
My boy, Jay Sean Barrett for sure. Jay Sean Barrett. He puts it whenever he's driving. He puts pedal to the metal, so he'll do this.
He's got the move. He's got the move.
Yeah.
Before we
Yeah.
let you go, Cam, I want to give you that chance. Shout out all the support system, all the people that have been there for you and have been there in the bleachers cheering you on throughout your football career.
First, I want to thank, like, obviously my parents, my mom and my dad. They do everything for me. Like, even when I was younger, starting to play football, they would take me everywhere I went. I want to thank my brother and my sister. They do everything for me. Like I said, they're at every single game. My grandparents, my aunts, my uncles, even from far away. Like, I have aunts and uncles in North Carolina, and they watch every single game. So, and also my family in New York on my dad's side, that they do everything for me as well. So,
Did a name pop up yet for that underrated player question?
the underrated, that was probably one of the hardest questions I've ever been asked. Like, just on the spot like that. Like, underrated. Honestly, to me, this year, what it was really the underrated player to me is Christian Latone on our team, because Christian Latone, like, obviously, I feel like you guys haven't heard his name a lot, especially last year. He didn't really play a lot, but I feel like he's making a difference for our defense this year. And if he keeps doing this thing, like, you'll hear his name a lot for sure.
We love spreading that love around to the guys that deserve it as well. We said, 11 guys to get that win no matter what it is. Good luck tonight, Cam. We know it's going to be a big matchup. It's going to be fun, and you're going to have a great announcing crew with Romo and Leslie tonight.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for having me.
Sorry, a lot of buttons to press. That was Cam Smith from Austin Town Fitch Football, one of my favorite football interviews that we were even able to do last fall. Me and Ty Bartell had a great time. Cam has a great personality, great work ethic, but he understands it. He gets it. He knows it's about his teammates. You know, it was so hard for him to pick an underrated player, probably because there were so many players on that team that he felt fit that mold, and we put him on the spot. We're like, hey, pick somebody. Looking back on it, that was kind of cruel of us. You know, we gave him a tough question there, but you know, he was able to really put on a great interview, and I can't wait to talk to him again this year about Fitch football. He's going to be one of the stars. I still want to know if he got that Jocelyn Jordan autograph poster before she left Fitch. We have to get a follow-up on that. We'll have to get a follow-up on that question. I think we asked a lot of athletes in the fall that question because there were so many athletes that were still about to have a season. You know, so we're gonna have to do some follow-up questions to these fall sports athletes if we get a chance to talk to them again. That was our dive into the vault for Fitch football. We're gonna take a break on Running Point. When we get back, we're opening the vault back up, and we'll go back to our volleyball coverage last year, and we will hear our interview with Emily Downey from Crestview Volleyball. So that's going to be a fun thing to do, and that'll come up after the break. We'll be right back on Running Point, brought to you as always by our good friends over at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Back in a bit.
Before the lights come on, before the workday begins, before a long day is ended, or it's time to have fun, it all starts with the people at Joe Dickey Electric. From replacing a light fixture in your home to building a substation for your business, no job is too big or too small. The people of Joe Dickey Electric power them all. Joe Dickey Electric, over 60 years of powering the Mahoning Valley.
Why choose local? Because you live here, work here, learn here, relax here, and celebrate here. 21 WFMJ is our Valley's only locally owned TV station, and our focus is local. Other TV stations don't have that same focus, as their owners are somewhere else. But 21 WFMJ is rooted in the Valley. Local people making decisions that affect your life, right here where you live.
You're looking to your future, preparing for your goals, and they're closer than you think. Because here, success is part of the plan. It's a place where academic and social opportunities are meant to prepare you for life, not just the next 4 years. You'll be equipped to face new challenges and turn hard work into a career. You're ready for your success to take root. And here's where it starts. We are Youngstown State University, and proud
Hi, this is Tommy Clem, owner of WRS Insurance Solutions.
WRS Insurance Solutions is a local independent agency that specializes in life, Medicare, long-term care, and disability products. Call us at 330-953-3722 or visit us at wrsinsurancesolutions.com to learn more.
Good luck to all the student athletes in the Valley.
Welcome back to Running Point on ysnlive.com. It is a Friday episode. A lot of you guys are saying TGIF. I'm right there with you. You got to love the weekend, and we're putting up a good show to get you there today. Brought to you, as always, by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. And, hey, the all-new 2024 Trax is here. The Chevy Trax. It looks slick at Greenwood Chevrolet. Are you ready for it? Test drive the all-new Trax only at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Stop in or call today for more information on test drives and reserving your Chevy Trax. It's a slick-looking car, I'll tell you that much. So make sure to check out Greenwood Chevrolet if you're interested in the 2024 Trax. So we're going to dive back into the vault here on Running Point and fall sports. We're still trying to relive all the great profiles that we had during the fall season, and we are jumping into high school volleyball coverage, and we are jumping back in the vault to hear the interview we did last season with Crestview Volleyball's Emily Downey. Crestview Volleyball won the district championship for the third year in a row, went back to regionals to Barberton, and they were one of the best volleyball teams that we had in the area for sure. Definitely one of the most successful ones we had. And we're going to hear from one of their great players, Emily Downey, one of their great defensive players, actually. Does a lot of good things in the back row, gets a lot of digs for this team. And here's Emily Downey from Crestview Volleyball. Anthony Hartwig here with a Crestview Volleyball player profile. I am joined by Emily Downey, junior of this team and the libero of the Crestview Volleyball team. Emily, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be on here.
All right, so we talk about this season and the great run you guys have had. You've been a big part of it from your perspective. What's this ride with Crestview been like so far, especially this year?
It's been really exciting seeing us grow individually and as a team and just working hard together. And it's just been a really great success so far.
You know, talking to Coach Hauer, she says that you're one of the people that she's seen a lot of growth from, especially with confidence out there on the floor and being in the libero. Do you feel that too? Do you feel a lot more confident now than you were in the beginning of the season?
Yeah, I feel like my confidence has grown a lot, and I think that's with a lot of help from the coaches and my teammates.
Yeah, was there a moment in the middle of the season that you kind of flipped that confidence switch, or maybe a couple of matches where you felt like you played really well that gave you a lot of confidence?
Yeah, there were a few matches, like Coach mentioned to me, my East Liverpool game was one really good game, and she recommended for me to go back and watch my highlights in order to get ready and prepared for our tournament games, and I think that really helped me with confidence in those games.
When you get told that you're going to be the starting libero for this program and you're going to have that responsibility really on your shoulders of leading the back row, what were some of your emotions and some of the thoughts going through your head when you were told that?
I was very excited and very honored because I know we have a very strong program and there's so much talent, and it was just really exciting for me.
Okay, we got to talk about these last two games in districts against two really good teams. This bracket was full of state-ranked opponents, and you showed up great against both teams. What was it like for you just to go up against that high level of volleyball and really get the results that you did?
It was awesome. It was great playing some good competition, and going into the game, we were so excited. We really wanted those wins, and it was just great getting them. We put 100% effort and heart into both of them, and we're so happy.
I mean, take us inside the locker room a little bit for these games. I mean, you said that you guys won it. You seemed like the more aggressive team both nights. What was the mindset heading into these games from your team's perspective?
We knew it was going to be a tough match, good competition, and we knew that we had to be mentally there, because the mental game is a big part of it, and also that every point would matter, and that really showed, especially in those sets where it's like 25-23, and that you just have to give it your all until the very end.
All right, so obviously you get a lot of digs back there in the back row against a lot of good hitters, not just in the last 2 games, but your conference has a couple of really good hitters, and your non-conference schedule definitely featured some good hitters as well. Do you have like a first memory of going up against, a really strong hit and getting a really good dig back there, and what that felt like?
There's been a lot that it's just when you get a dig, it's just like really great feeling, and then especially when we get a run like me to Grace to Abby and you get that kill, it's just so exciting, and all your teammates celebrating you, and it just feels really great.
So a dig is a very unique stat than any other sport, because like with a kill, with points in basketball, whatever it may be, a touchdown, you can celebrate after you get it. But when you have a dig, the play's not over. So talk about that. Just going in the mindset of, okay, you went down, you got a good dig, but you still got to get up and get refocused in case the other team puts another one right back at you.
Yeah, I think that's also goes into every point matters, and that you just got to keep playing until you hear the whistle, because it's just the volleys can go on for so long. It just makes them so exciting. And I remember the one play in the game, I almost flew into the score table when I hear the coaches telling me to get back on the court, and it just really gave me the motivation to keep going, and that volley was really fun.
Yeah, there's no time to lay down or rest when you're in the dig. When you think about volleyball and some of the things that you love so much about it, obviously you have to love it to put as much time as you do into it. What do you love so much about this sport?
Just the excitement on the court, off the court. It's just our support from the community and from our teammates and our coaches. We just have such a close bond, and it just makes the sport so much fun and so exciting.
You talked about how much Coach Auer and the staff helped you with your confidence. What else has this coaching staff really helped you grow in the time that you've been able to be under them?
They've really helped me individually with some of my goals, such as serve receive and being a more aggressive server. And we work a lot on that on practice, and they give us all individual feedback and feedback as a whole, and it just helps us improve.
All right, so you come into this season. What were some of those personal goals that you set for yourself that you wanted to achieve before the season ended?
Confidence was a big one for me, confidence in serve receiving, and to become more consistent in aggressive serving and in getting touches on a ball, because there are a lot of hard hits, and it's great to get digs, but even just going for the ball every time is really important, and I've been working really hard on that.
All right, so now we're almost into the season. Not quite yet, because you guys are still fighting for regionals. But how would you kind of grade yourself on the goals that you set back in the beginning of the year?
I think I've been doing pretty well. At the start of the season, I aimed for those goals, and I think I've just improved on getting closer and closer to achieving all of them each game. And I think that my confidence has grown, and just my overall game, and just our team's overall game has improved so much over the season.
All right, so when you think about some of the things that you think makes Crestview such a special place to be and makes you proud to represent the school, what kind of things come to mind when you think about that?
Our good attitudes. There's so much positivity on our team and in the community, and I think that just really helps us. We always bring so much excitement and lift each other up, and it's just a great bond that we have on our team.
All right, so you talk about this bond, and obviously there's a lot that you guys do off the court to bond together, and to build chemistry. What are some of your favorite team bonding exercises that this team's able to do?
We've had dinner a few times tonight. We had dinner, and it was a lot of fun, just talking and sharing memories, and having laughs, and also we've hung out a few times at each other's houses and gone on walks, and it's just really fun because we feel like family. We're so close, and it's really great.
And you think about the positiveness that this team brings. How are you guys able to stay so positive in a sport that can be really hard at times, and you can have a team go on a 5 or 4 point run? How have you guys managed to stay so positive on the court?
I think it's just a matter of our coaches along with our teammates. We all lift each other up. And if one person's feeling down, everyone does their best to lift them up. And it's just a chain reaction of positivity.
All right. So when you look at your future now, you're going into your senior year next year. What kind of things have you picked up from this year's seniors that are going to kind of help you be a senior leader next year?
They've showed great leadership. They're always motivating us and pushing us to be our best. And they're always doing what's right. And it's even after the game, some of them are picking up trash and cleaning up, even though they're the oldest on the team. And it just shows that it's just a really great leadership that they have.
All right, so I saw a picture of the team this week on social media that was under all the championship banners in that gym for volleyball. There are so many of them. When you look at that banner and you look at that wall in the gym that's dedicated to volleyball, does that make you kind of proud to be a part of such a successful program even before you got there?
Yeah, it makes me very proud. It really just shows how hard we've worked over the past many years and staff we've had to make such a great program.
Was there ever any pressure to kind of live up to what you saw on that wall, especially in your early years in the program?
I think it was a big goal, seeing how much success there was. I think it was just something to really aim for, and I think it was a good form of motivation to reach for that.
All right, so now let's talk about student athlete. You're a student as well. What are some of your favorite things to study in school, and what are some of your favorite things to learn about?
Some of my favorite classes are literature and art and anatomy. I've been really enjoying those classes this year.
Are there any teachers, whether it be this year, last year, middle school, whatever it may be, that kind of impacted your journey and made an impact on you while you had them for a teacher?
Our freshman science teacher, Mr. Fabian, he always does FCC meetings, Fellowship of Christian Athletes. He talks to us after school some Wednesdays with the volleyball team and talks to us on Thursday mornings. And he's had a big impact because he's taught us all that, working as a team and being there for each other is so important. And also, we always pray before our games, and I think that's a big part of him that he's taught us to always play for God and be faithful, and that's really helped us.
Let's go a little bit deeper into that, because a lot of your teammates and your coach has brought up those meetings and how much those have meant to the team. Is there kind of one message that you can remember that really stuck out when you think about the weekly meetings with Mr. Fabian with this team?
I think one that was really important, we all got in a circle and we each picked a name and we shared what's so special about that person. And some people got maybe their best friend on the team, some people got someone who maybe they wanted to know a little better. And I think it just helped us see that we see like the differences in each other, and also we can pull out all the positive things about one another. And I think it brought us closer together as a team and really built a good bond between us.
All right, obviously you spend a lot of time with this team. So who have you gotten to know the most over the stretch of the season?
I've built a closer bond with a lot of the seniors and just everyone on the team. And a lot of the girls, I've been friends with since I was very young, and that it's just great to see our friendship continue and even grow stronger as we play together.
All right, you're going to Barberton on Thursday. This team has been there before. What are some of the things that you are leaning on of the last couple years of experience to kind of help you be prepared for Thursday night in the atmosphere that you're going to see in Barberton?
I think it's important for us to go in the game understanding that we're going to be playing a very good team and it's going to be good competition, but we still got to have a strong mental game and confidence and trust in ourselves and trust in our teammates, and just bring 100% effort and heart and everything we got.
All right, you have one more practice before that game. What are take us through a normal practice for Crestview volleyball? I imagine they're very high intensity with how successful this program is. What is a normal practice with Crestview volleyball?
We work a lot on individual. We split up passers and blockers and work on things like that. And we also come together as a team and play some in more game-like situations. And I think that helps us just work on our individual goals, but also prepare for our games. We also look a lot into our scouting reports and what we need to understand about the other teams in order to play at their level and play the best that we can.
All right, so last question before we let you go. Well, I should say before we get into the rapid fire question, because we got to get to know you a little bit off the court. What skill do you think you've improved on the most throughout the season?
I think serve receive I've improved on the most. I've really focused on that because our coaches always say one thing that's so important is ball control, and that ball control can lead a team to success. And if we can get those good passes on serve receive, then we're able to run all three hitters, and that's when our game really comes into play.
All right, time for some rapid fire questions, getting to know you a little bit off the court, and I will start with, do you have any pets?
Yeah, I have 2 dogs and a bearded dragon.
A bearded dragon. Oh, that's the first time we've gotten that one, and that is so awesome.
Yeah.
What is kind of the weirdest thing one of your pets does? Like, do they have any quirks?
Our dogs really like to eat socks. They chew socks all the time. And my bearded dragon, he's pretty laid back. He'll fall asleep on me sometimes. So yeah.
If you could have any other animal that you don't have as a pet, what animal would you want?
I'd like a cat.
A cat. Okay, it's a timid answer. I thought people would go for something exotic, but hey, you don't have a cat. You want a cat? Let's get one for you. What are some of your favorite fairy tales that you liked as a kid?
I gotta say, my favorite is Princess and the Frog.
Okay.
I always loved that story.
Is that also your favorite Disney movie?
Yeah.
What about like your favorite Disney song? Does it come out of that movie, or is there another song in another movie that you like the best when you think of Disney's library?
From Princess and the Frog, I'd say Evangeline is my favorite song.
All right, that's good. What about music that you listen to before a game to get yourself in that game mindset?
We listen to a pretty big variety. We have a lot of songs to get us pumped up and ready, and there's a few of our favorites that aren't necessarily like get pumped up songs, but Western Feel we've always listened to before the game, and it's just a funny memory. Dancing around the coaches to that, so we've always kept that.
All right. What about you look at any pregame routines that you have yourself? Like, do you have any superstitions or routines that you stick to before games?
Just mentally preparing myself and getting excited for the game and reading over my goal in the locker room and just making sure I have everything for the game.
So do you set yourself a personal goal before every game?
We wrote our goals at the beginning of our season,
Okay.
and we read those before every game.
All right. So when you think of one thing about your family that you think makes it unique from other families, what would you think of?
My sister and I have a really close bond, and I know a lot of all siblings have a close bond, but we've always got the question of how do we never fight? And I always thought that was kind of funny because we never do fight. We chose to share a room when we were younger, and everyone's always thought that was different.
Is it literally like never? You've never had a fight, or is there like 1 or 2 times?
I mean, maybe slight arguments here and there, but not really. We don't fight.
What is it? What has that kind of relationship meant to you? I mean, obviously everyone's close to their siblings, but you have, like you said, one that's a little bit closer than most.
Yeah, she's just my best friend, and she's always been there for me. And she couldn't make it to our game the other day, so she stopped at home and left me a long paragraph about how great I am, how much she loves me.
That's awesome. Is she coming on Thursday?
I'm not sure yet. She'll probably have to wait and see if she's able to.
Well, we definitely hope that she's there, but of course, if she can't, we'll have it on ysnlive.com. She can watch it, watch the broadcast. Before we let you go, I want to give you the chance to thank your support system and all the other people that have been there to support you throughout your career.
We just say thank you to everyone, all our coaches, our teachers, our family, our friends, and all the whole community who's always come there and supported us. It's just really great, and it means so much to have them there for us.
All right, Emily, thank you so much for your time, and we wish you the best of luck in Barberton on Thursday. We hope that this season goes a little bit longer, and we can talk a little bit more about a regional final. And hey, if the universe is up for it, let's talk about some state championships. All right. We thank you for your time, and we look forward to talking again real soon.
You too. Thank you so much.
That was Emily Downey, the great player out of Crestview, and I think that was the last interview that we did before their season ended. So, a great segue into coverage of their season this year that is going to start very, very soon. And Crestview is going to be a very exciting volleyball team to watch. A very brand new commit to Pitt volleyball in Abby Imps. They're returning a lot of people from last year, and there's no reason to think that they shouldn't be just as talented, just as fierce, just as just awesome to watch as they were a year ago. So can't wait to watch Crestview volleyball this year. Had to get them in the vault. And want to remind everybody that we are not Disney, so it's not like we take things out of the vault and put them back and you're never going to see them again. All these interviews, every interview that we do, the interviews we're bringing back from the fall sports, the winter sports, and spring sports throughout the next couple of weeks, they're all available on our YouTube channel. They're all available on the website. So if you ever want to watch them again, you miss them, you want to reminisce, they're there for you. So you can go on and you can watch all the interviews that we do, all the player profiles that we do. We're bringing them out of the vault to put them on the show. But like I said, we're not Disney. We're not taking a movie out of the vault, give you about 3 weeks to watch it, 3 weeks to rent it, 3 weeks to buy it, and then saying, hey, it's gone now forever. You can't ever see it again. So we're not that anymore. Well, I shouldn't say anymore. We're not that. So we don't have Mickey Mouse ears, and we don't do all the things that Disney does. But so that being said, all those interviews that we've done in the past, all the interviews that we're gonna bring back on the show in the next couple weeks, they are all also available on our website and on our YouTube channel. If you're watching on our YouTube channel, please take the time, if you're feeling so obliged, to hit that subscribe button on our YSN YouTube channel. Subscribe. Subscriptions help us get out to more people. Of course, they help us build in the YouTube algorithm. The other thing that you could do to help us out is hit like and a comment for videos. That'll also help the algorithm and get us out to people. And then, of course, you never want to miss a minute of the video content that we do put up. So hit that notification bell that's next to the subscribe button so you never miss a minute of any of the videos that we put up on YSN, whether that be our daily shows, Running Point, 440 Morning Show, Power Hour. Those are all on there. Player profiles are all on there. Coaches Corners are all on there. Post-game interviews, some full games, game highlights. There's a bunch of video content for your local sports itches on the YSN YouTube channel. So make sure you're subscribed to that And make sure you also hit that notification bell so you never miss any time that we put up a video on our channel. With that being said, that's going to end today's episode of Running Point. We wish you the best weekend in the world. We can't wait to be back next week. Gonna have some exciting guests. I can't spill the beans yet because we don't have the days and times confirmed. But I can say that if things go right and the stars align, we're going to have some exciting guests on the show next week. We'll continue to dive into the vault as well. And we'll have some fun next week on Running Point. Be back on Monday from 1 to 2 for you, like we always are. Same time, same place. Enjoy your weekend. Stay safe. Enjoy all the baseball that's going to be on the network tonight. Little League